Hi everybody, this video will help you with the order of operations, which you might have learned before in a past math class as PEMDAS, or Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. As a friendly reminder, that first P there stands for parentheses, which would include any other grouping symbols as well. You take care of things inside parentheses first. After that is E, which is exponents, so things like 5 to the third, 3 squared, etc., etc. The next two actually go together, that's why I have them underlined in the same color, multiplication and division for M and D. You do all of your multiplying and dividing in the order you see them from left to right, which is why I drew an arrow over top going left to right. That means you might divide before you're multiplying. Same idea with the last two, AS, they go together, addition and subtraction. Do your addition and subtraction in the order you see it, left to right. Let's take a look at this first example here. I don't have any parentheses, so I am not going to do that step. So no parentheses to worry about. I do have an exponent right here. That'll be where I start. Everything else other than that exponent will stay the same. So when I take or evaluate that exponent, 3 squared is 9, so that becomes a 9 there. Everything else stays the same. Next up, that's a times dot there between the 2 and 5. I do have multiplication and division, so I'm going to do that. 2 times 5 is 10, so that right there becomes a 10. Everything else stays the same. Now from here, if you're comfortable, you could do the rest of this all in one step because all we have left is addition and subtraction. However, I'm going to break it down step by step just so that you can see it that way. When you're working on your own, do whatever works for you. 3 plus 4 is 7. Everything else stays the same. 7 plus 9 gives me 16. And then final answer, 16 plus 10 is 26. So when you have an order of operations problem, you're going to end up with a number answer. Like I said, you're welcome to combine or skip steps as you do these on your own. Let's get ready for another example. And be patient with me as I erase. Okay, so we are going to have here's our next example. These dots right here between the 3 and 4 and the 4 and 5 are multiplication or times dots. We're going to follow the same process we did before. This time we do actually have parentheses, so we are going to start with our parentheses stuff right here. Everything else other than that is going to stay the same. So 9 divided by 3 stays the same, times 4 times 5 stays the same. 2 plus 3 is 5, so that minus sign stays there. Since I've done everything inside the parentheses, I don't need the parentheses anymore. And then minus 4. Next up, no exponents, but I do have multiplication and division. We're going to start at the very left-hand side of the problem. So the first multiplication or division I see is at the beginning, which is 9 divided by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Everything else stays the same. I still have more multiplying to do. I'm going to do those one at a time. 3 times 4 is 12. More multiplying. 12 times 5 is 60. And here I'm going to show you where you could combine some steps here. Or you can do these individually. 60 minus 5 is 55, minus 4 is 51 for our final answer. Okay, here comes our next example. This one is going to have parentheses inside of parentheses, which we haven't seen yet, but I will show you how to tackle, don't you worry. Okay, So I have a big set of parentheses and a little set of parentheses on the inside. You're going to start on the very inside most set of parentheses. So I am going to start right here with this 5 times 5 on the inside set. So everything else is going to stay the same. 5 times 5 is 25. Since I'm all done with that set of parentheses, I don't need those parentheses anymore. Still have divided by 5 minus 1 times 3. Next up, inside my parentheses, I'm going to follow the order of operations. I don't have any exponents inside my parentheses, but I do have multiplication and division right here. So everything else will stay the same. 25 divided by 5 is 5. And then from here, I'm going to combine all of this together because it's all addition and subtraction. It's all fairly small numbers. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 5 is 15, minus 1 is 14. So when I added and subtracted all those things together, I got 14. And then I still have that times 3 on the outside. I don't need these parentheses anymore because I've done everything inside the parentheses. Last but not least, we just need to finish off with our multiplying. 14 times 3 gives us 42. Alrighty, and last but not least, let's go to our last problem. I got rid of our little reminder there at the top, but I think we're pretty good to go here. This one is also going to have parentheses inside of parentheses, by the way. Okay, so we have a lot going on here. We have this giant set of parentheses. I'm going to kind of re-outline those in red. And then we have 2 smaller sets of parentheses. We're going to do those inside sets first. What I'm talking about is this one and this one. Since those are happening separately, we can take care of both of those at the same time. So this outside 3 is going to stay the same. Everything that's not inside an inside set of parentheses is going to stay the same. 1 plus 11 gives me 12. Since I'm done with that set of parentheses, I don't need that set of parentheses around that 12. Divided by 6 minus 2 is 4. Once again, I'm done with that set of parentheses, so I don't need to write those parentheses anymore. I still need the big set though. Next up, we don't have any exponents inside our parentheses, so the next thing would be multiplication and division. I have a lot of that going on. Remember, for multiplication and division, we work left to right. So the first thing inside the parentheses I see multiplication and division wise is that 3 divided by 3. That's a bad 3, sorry. 3 divided by 3 is 1. I still have more multiplication and division. 1 times 6 gives me 6. And inside those parentheses, I still have more multiplication and division right here. 12 divided by 4 is 3. We're still working inside our parentheses, so we still got to take care of these parentheses. 6 plus 3 gives me 9. Now, I still do need these parentheses because I need to, if I don't write those parentheses, it's going to look like 39 instead of 3 times 9, which is what it's supposed to look like. To finish this off, we just need to do that final multiplication. 3 times 9 is 27. Sorry about that little flash of my icons there. That is it for our example problems. I hope you have a wonderful day. Let me know if you have any questions.